Privet. I'm greeting us Privet because I want to talk about Russia, and then I just have to greet us in the local language. So Privet means hi or hello, as the case may be. Okay, well, I know presently Russia is in the midst of a war with Ukraine. That war started about 2 years ago, 2022. And I know a lot of people has been wondering why they need to go to a country that is in the middle of a war, that is fighting a neighboring country. We all know that Russia and Ukraine, they are neighbors. They share a border, as the case may be, former USSR. As the case may be, I don't want to talk about history. I don't want to bore us more about that. So, but before I start, a bit of introduction. My name is Dr. Tunde Bimbola, and as an educational consultant, I want to talk about some countries that seemingly look underrated in terms of study abroad for students. Most times students don't look at some of this country, they underrate them. They feel they can't go to those countries to study. Like I've shared in some of the videos I've done, many of them look at the Western European countries and also some of the US, Canada, UK, as the case may be. So many people don't take cognizance of Eastern Europe because they feel Eastern Europe is still developing, is laid back, as the case may be. But well, I don't want to go into all that detail. I want to speak about quality of education, and I want to speak about affordability. I want to speak about what a typical student stands to gain, especially in this period where people are trying to go abroad, people are trying to study abroad, people are seriously hustling to relocate. So I want to talk more on some of these things. Now, I'll be talking from the Nigerian perspective. I'll be talking as a Nigerian because I'm a Nigerian. I want to talk about the Nigerian experience, how Nigerian students can leverage on these things I'm going to say, and they can then relocate to Russia if they so wish. Other African countries can also take advantage of some of these things I want to say. If they so wish, they can also take advantage of it. So, well, the admission people can go to public schools. The admission is online. It's no big deal. Just go online. Most of the time, like I mentioned in my previous video, they do. There's a lot of scholarship opportunity in Russia. There's the Olympiad, and there are some other universities that also do their own scholarship. There are public schools in Russia, there are private schools in Russia. So you can also try as much as possible to do your first degree if you have just left secondary school, and you can do your master's. If you have a bachelor's degree, and you can also do your doctorate if you've done your master's degree, so as the case may be. And if you so wish, you can also try to learn the language. You can do the language program if you so wish. Language program 2 is what you can do if you so wish. So permit me a bit to okay, so yes, so you can also do the language program. If you so wish, you can do the language program, which is also something you can do, in Russia. So I've mentioned foundational program foundational programs, which is the language program. Your first degree can also be done. Your master's can be done. Your doctorate can be done. And I've spoken about several opportunities. You can go in as a fee-paying student. You can also go in on scholarship. There are certain scholarship. Olympiad is there. Open door scholarship is there. Olympiad is there. These are opportunities you can leverage on, to study in the country. Some of the scholarship, if you don't qualify for full scholarship, you can qualify for partial scholarship. Some offer full, some offer 70%, 50%, 25%. So there's a lot of opportunity from the Russian government, from people in Africa, some other countries in India, in Asia can also benefit from. So, and then you have the Western experience. So, like I said, I want to talk about the Nigerian perspective this time around. So once you've gotten your admission for any of these programs that I mentioned above, you can then, if you are paying school fee, you can make payment of your school fee. And then if you are a full scholarship student, that is fine. Then you don't need to pay school fee. So there are processes. So I want to talk about the enrollment process. But before I go that, for you to get more tips on countries, because I'll be talking about one country or the other, what you can do, how can you get admitted to some of these countries that seemingly look underrated. You can subscribe to this channel, also click on the notification button bell, so that once there are updates, you can then hear more about it. So away from that, the enrollment process is as simple, of course, because some of the European countries need us to do, because of the language barrier and some other factors, they need us to do the translation into the English language to their foreign language. They also need you to do the authentication of your document. This can be done in your Ministry of Education in your local home, your home country. You can do the authentication of those documents in your home country. I believe virtually all countries have Ministry of Education. You can go there, legalize your authenticate your document now, not legalize, authenticate your document at your Ministry of Education if it's so required. And then from the Ministry of Education, you can then go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where you also need to do a second leg authentication. After this, you need to upload this document to the university portal so that they have a look. And also, you also need to translate your transcripts, your first degree, your transcript, depending on the program you are going for. You also need to do a translation into the Russian language. There are a lot of sites and organizations that do translation here in Russia. So, well, translation.ru is one of them. There are a lot of them. You can Google them. I am not advertising for any organization, I'm just talking. Then basically, if you're having challenges making payment, there are some students in Russia, of course, to pay from the local bank may not be easy. So if you have trustworthy friends in that country, trustworthy friends that can make payment for you, yes, they can actually make payment for you. So if you are not scared of being scammed, there are a lot of people that can help you to make payment from your home country in your local currency. You pay your local currency to them and they can help you pay. And if you have a means of transferring the money directly, it is equally fine. So once this enrollment process has been done, your name comes out as an enrolled student, and then you expect, and you've paid your fee. If you are a fee-paying student, you expect your invitation letter. So the payment, the amount for all this translation, legalization, translation, authentication, as the case may be, even legalization. So once you've done, so let me take us back a bit. Once you've done the translation, you've also done the authentication at the Ministry of the Ministry of Education, and also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in your home country. There is a need for you to legalize at the Russian embassy. Any of the Russian embassy in your home country, you can then legalize your document. So you can legalize your document in any embassy that is close to you or the one in your home country. So that is the process about the enrollment. Then you upload the document to the university. Then you expect your invitation letter. The invitation letter is what then you take to the embassy for your visa process. So you take that to the embassy for your visa process. The fee varies, the fee varies from country to country, but typically in Nigeria it takes about 3-4 days, max 4 days for the visa to be out. So because it's express that you pay for, and it takes about 3-4 days. So in Nigeria, as of today, it's about 242,000 naira that you pay, for the express payment fee for the visa. So once that is done, at times they may require you that you have an interview. The interview may be scheduled. The interview may then be at the spot. Then there may not be any interview. So it depends at the discretion of the consular. They decide what to do, either to interview at the spot, either to interview at the spot, either to possibly ask you to come to a later date, or they just allow you submit and you go. So that is the way it has been. So but basically those questions are basic questions. It may be questions that has to do with what you study in your first degree, that is if you are going to for masters. It may be question about what you study in your masters if you are going for doctorate. Then it may be as simple as multiplication table, for those that are doing their first degree or language program. So as the case may be, but these are basic questions that a typical student will know what he or she is doing, and then is sound, smart, you can then pass them. So basically it's all about you being smart, you being confident, you knowing what to say, you being able to raise your head up and stand tall to defend what you know. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal for anybody to get the visa. So basically, once that is done, you can then move to Russia. The next thing to do, book your flight ticket, then resume classes formally. Typically the visa is 3 months. The visa will be issued for 3 months, in which you expected max for if it's 3 months, that is 90 days. So you expected to be in Russia before the last 30 days, before the last month elapses, that is before. So I typically advise people to move maybe before 45 days, before you've spent half of the period given to you. 45 days, be in Russia, so that for other processes, document processes that need there to be done. So basically that is that about that. So once again, for more tips about other countries, you can subscribe to this channel, and then we can keep talking about how to study abroad, keep talking about migration abroad. All the best. I want to say good luck to everybody, and thank you.